So it was an experiment, from the very inception of the idea through its entire execution. We just weren't quite sure what we were doing and whether or not it was going to work. So here we are in our little crappy apartment in Orlando, and we're seeing the box office numbers come through variety.
Yeah, I'm like, I think you can pay off your student loans.
Yeah, I think you can pay off your student loan.
And now I think you can pay off your car. Oh,
Yeah.
I think you have a down payment for a house.
Yeah, each weekend it kept going up. We're like, oh my god! I mean, you realize?
And the agents are like, you're not going to see the money for a year.
Yeah.
But so we're in a little tiny apartment, and I was like, don't move your chair back. I have to get out of my desk.
Yeah.
So that's the conditions. I'm like, so I'll get out of my desk first. Now you can get out of your desk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't worry, I'm making $600 a week. I can support us for this year.
So yeah, it was pretty surreal and certainly life changing. It was a phenomenon. It really was something that even to this day I would sort of feel removed from. That, looking at something as small as Blair Witch was, and as kind of intimate a film as it was for us shooting it, how something so small and passionate and intimate can become so big, and not just big in the sense of box office or economics, but big in the sense of how it was sort of changed things culturally. I mean, certainly in the film business, it kind of reinvented, what can be done, and broke a lot of rules, and really kind of, I think, reformatted a lot of like studios' thinking is on what to take seriously and what not to, So I think it's nice to be a part of that, and be able to look back on those days and see how things have really changed. If it hadn't been for us, it would have been for somebody else, I'm sure. But it really is, as a case study, always fascinating to me.
The original question that we had when it came out is, could you fool people like this again? And you're like, oh no, people are too jaded. They know what, found footage is, and they'll never believe that found footage, like War of the Worlds, right? So I'm sure if we'd done War of the Worlds, we're like, nobody's ever going to fall for something like this again. But Blair Witch really was the exact same thing. And people did fall for it again. You're like, it felt slightly realistic, and so therefore it's true. And so I see that happening all the time now, when I'm like, no, we never get too jaded.
It is different. It's primal. It's not all slick and Hollywood, and it is sort of the punk rock of films that actually delivered on its promise of being scary. And that's oftentimes isn't the case. You'll go into a film with the kind of the pretext that it's going to be funny or scary, and it's not really laugh out loud, or it's not really scary at its core, like it wasn't a lot of the films that I grew up with. So it delivered the goods for a lot of people, and that's, I think, important. If you're going to say you're a horror film, you better scare somebody in the process somewhere along the line, no matter how you market it. I love chatting about the film and what inspired us, and interacting with people that are fans of the movie. I really appreciate it. I appreciate that people take the time to come out and see the film, and we have some really devoted fans. There's some people out there that are hardcore and know a lot more about the movie than I do. So that kind of passion is what you hope for as an artist, that the people that you're appealing to are really respond to your work, and that's to me never really gets old.